The old storyteller clears his throat as the firelight dances across marble ruins and broken shields. His voice is low, heavy with memory. Rome did not fear monsters. It feared men who learned how Rome itself worked. This is the story of one such enemy. A man almost erased by history, yet feared by senators, cursed by generals, and whispered about in army camps at night. His name was Sertorius. In the 1st century before Christ, Rome was not yet the marble giant of emperors and golden statues. It was a restless republic, powerful, ambitious, and dangerously divided. The streets of Rome smelled of olive oil, sweat, and politics. Senators in white togas argued beneath painted ceilings. Veterans begged for land. Slaves carried water through crowded alleys. And beyond the city walls, the legions marched endlessly, conquering, taxing, and provoking rebellion. Rome's greatest threat did not come from barbarian hordes this time. It came from a Roman who refused to kneel. Quintus Sertorius was not born into greatness. He was raised in humble Sabine lands, trained not by privilege, but by discipline. As a young officer, he lost an eye in battle, a wound he wore proudly. Yea, Roman should lose blood before he loses honor, he once said. He fought bravely against the Cimbrian Teutones, earning respect among soldiers. I go be. Unlike many aristocrats, Sertorius marched beside common men, ate their food, slept on the ground, and listened. The soldiers loved him. The politicians feared him, because Rome at that moment was tearing itself apart. Two factions battled for control. The populares, who claimed to defend the people, the optimates, defenders of aristocratic power when the ruthless General Sulla seized Rome and declared himself dictator. Lists of enemies were nailed to public boards. These proscriptions meant legal murder. Sertorius' name appeared. He fled, not in shame but in fury. Across the sea beyond the Pillars of Hercules lay Hispania, wild, mountainous, tribal, and difficult to control. Rome called it a province. The locals called it. Here lived the Lusitanians, fierce warriors who despised Roman tax collectors and governors. When Sertorius arrived, scarred and hunted, they expected another tyrant. Instead, they found something else. He spoke calmly. He listened. He learned their customs. He punished corrupt officials. He paid soldiers fairly. And slowly, something extraordinary happened. The tribes chose him as their leader. You fight like Romans, Sertorius told them, but you will live as free men. To inspire loyalty, he staged a myth. A brilliant piece of psychological theater. A white fawn, said to be a gift from the goddess Diana, followed him everywhere. Sertorius claimed it whispered divine guidance into his ear. The tribes believed the gods themselves walked beside him. Rome would later laugh at this, but Rome was afraid. Sertorius did something no rebel had ever done before. He recreated Rome without Rome. In Hispania, he established a senate of Roman exiles, Roman courts, Roman laws, a military command equal to any consul. He trained native warriors in legion tactics, shield walls, discipline, formations. Guerrillas became professionals. Roman governors sent against him were humiliated. Legions vanished in mountain passes. Supply lines burned. Commanders were outmaneuvered by a man who knew Roman, thinking better than Rome itself. A terrified senator reportedly shouted, "He fights like Rome, thinks like Rome, but hates Rome more than any barbarian." Daily life under Sertorius was strange and orderly. Markets reopened, children were taught Latin and rhetoric. Tribal leaders dined beside Roman officers. War and civilization walked side by side. For nearly 10 years, Rome could not defeat him. Finally, the Senate sent its rising star, Gnaeus Pompeius Pompey the Great. Young, ambitious, brilliant. Pompey arrived with fresh legions and enormous confidence. Sertorius met him not with open battle, but with deception. He struck supply convoys, ambushed patrols, vanished into hills, attacked only when victory was certain. Pompey wrote angrily to the Senate, "I was sent to fight a general, not a ghost." Battles raged across Iberia, brutal, dusty, desperate. At Lauren, Pompey was trapped and forced to watch his own camp burn. At Sucro, his cavalry was nearly annihilated. Veteran Romans began to whisper Sertorius' name with respect and dread, but no enemy is more dangerous than betrayal. Victory made Sertorius powerful. Power made others jealous. His officers, Romans who once followed him in exile, began to resent his authority. They wanted glory. They wanted Rome's forgiveness. They wanted his command. Among them was Marcus Perperna. One night, during a feast, wine flowed freely. echoed under torchlight. Sertorius, weary from years of war, lowered his guard. Then steel flashed. Daggers struck from all sides. The great commander fell without armor, without warning, murdered by his own men. The room fell silent. Rome's most dangerous enemy died not on a battlefield, but at a dinner table. Perperne tried to take command. He failed. Pompey crushed him within months. Captured documents revealed Sertorius' secret correspondence. Letters from powerful Romans plotting rebellion. Pompey burned them unread. Perhaps even he feared how close Rome had come to tearing itself apart. History moved on. Statues were never raised. Triumphs were never granted. His name faded from schools and speeches. Yet among soldiers, historians, and those who study power closely, Sertorius remained something rare. A man who defeated Rome by becoming a better version of it. The storyteller leans closer to the fire. Empires fall not only to armies, he whispers, but to those who understand them too well. The fire burns lower now. The storyteller's voice grows slower, darker. Rome believed the danger ended with exile. It was wrong. News of Sertorius' survival spread through Rome like smoke in a closed chamber. In the Senate, marble floors echoed with angry footsteps. Senators clenched scrolls. Generals argued. He commands Romans. He trains barbarians like legions. Is building a rival republic. Rome did what it always did when afraid. It sent armies. One governor after another crossed into Hispania. Proud men in polished armor vanished, shining beneath the Iberian sun. They expected scattered tribes. Instead, they found discipline. Sertorius' camps were quiet at night. Guards rotated by the hour. Weapons were clean. Orders were obeyed instantly. A Lusitanian warrior once asked him, "Why do we march like Romans?" Sertorius replied, "Because Rome is not strong by birth. It is strong by habit." And so Rome began losing battles without understanding how. The fighting was brutal and personal. Roman columns moved through narrow passes where rocks fell like thunder. Javelins burst from tree lines, then silence. At dawn, survivors found shields shattered, officers dead, formations broken. Sertorius never wasted lives. A dead Roman teaches nothing, he said. A defeated Roman teaches fear. Villages became fortresses. Shepherds became scouts. Even Roman deserters joined him, men who had seen corruption up close and preferred exile to obedience. Daily life under his rule felt strangely Roman. Grain measured fairly, taxes reduced, courts held in public, soldiers paid on time, children learned Latin by torchlight. Iberian elders debated law like senators. Rome had not just lost territory, it had lost authority. When defeat became embarrassment, the Senate panicked. They turned to youth. Pompey Magnus, barely in his 30s, already celebrated, arrived with confidence and 30,000 men. Trumpets announced his landing, eagles gleamed. Rome watched, hopeful. Sertorius watched too. He is young, he said calmly, and youth mistakes movement for momentum. Pompey pushed inland fast, too fast. Supply lines stretched thin, camps grew careless. Sertorius struck where maps ended, burning food, killing messengers, vanishing before battle could form. At Lauron, Pompey was lured into a trap so perfect that Sertorius let him escape, just to prove control. I could end this war today, Sertorius told his officers, but Rome must feel it first. Pompey wrote to the Senate, furious. Either recall me or send me another army. I am fighting a man, and not a province. At its height, Sertorius ruled more Roman land than many consuls. He minted coins, held courts, commanded legions that saluted him as imperator. Foreign kings sent envoys. Even Mithridates of Pontus, Rome's greatest eastern enemy, offered alliance. Sertorius accepted cautiously. I will not trade one tyrant for another, he warned. His dream was dangerous, not conquest, but reform. He did not wish to destroy Rome. He wanted to return and fix it. That made him more terrifying than any invader. Years of war hardened Sertorius. Trust became rare. Patience thinner. Victory slower. Some officers wanted peace. Others wanted glory. Many wanted pardon from Rome. They began whispering, he thinks himself king. He favors natives over Romans. The gods no longer speak to him. The white fawn, once a symbol of divine favor, vanished, and with it, belief. Marcus Perpernus smiled politely and sharpened knives. The feast was meant to honor victory. Music played. Wine flowed. Laughter echoed beneath torchlight. Sertorius reclined, tired but proud. For 10 years he had defied the greatest power on earth. He raised a cup. To Rome, he said softly. May she someday deserve her name again. The first blade struck his back. Another pierced his side. Hands he once trusted held him down. There was no speech. No last stand, no warning. Rome's greatest rebel died in silence. Perpenna took command. Within months, Pompey crushed him. Captured letters revealed something terrifying. Proof that powerful Romans had secretly supported Sertorius. Pompey burned them. Some truths are too dangerous to survive. Back in Rome, senators celebrated. Coins were struck. Speeches made. But no triumph was held. Because deep down, Rome knew Sertorius did not lose the war. Rome lost the lesson. The storyteller lets the fire fade. Empires remembered their victories, he says, but they fear the men who showed them another way.